Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
97.9 GRD rocks. It's the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Partly cloudy. Scattered showers are possible. Yeah. 64 the high. It's 52 now, downtown GR. We don't really know what's going on in this story, but the headline got us. And the first sentence of the story, we were in.
Yeah.
This is, it looks like an investigative piece from Fox 17. And it has some logos of companies we could be mad at.
Yes.
Let's get them.
They were accepting my payment, but they would send me a late notice that I wasn't fulfilling the full payment, and it just spiraled out of control.
She made a career out of selling homes to others, building a dream home of her own, making it a nest egg for her retirement. But now, after nearly 10 years of fighting, she says she's just days away from losing it all.
Okay, unless they provide me information that is otherwise, this seems like we're all going to be outraged on her behalf.
Agreed.
Probably.
Days away from losing it all. The catalyst here was a change to her insurance policy. That's led to a life-changing legal battle. We first told you about this last night at 10.
Now in part 2 of this story, Fox 17 problem solver Cassandra Arsenault is talking with Gretchen Malaki about the possibility of taking her fight to the federal level.
She's
losing. We need to see the first part.
I know. Yeah, unless they recap.
Okay, let's see if they recap.
Sure they will.
And she knows it, which is why she reached out to the Fox 17 problem
she's sexy and she knows it.
That doesn't seem like it would have been the lead-in for this story that's more about real estate and mortgages and insurance.
And then she had a pineapple pen.
Choice of switching insurance providers, leading to a spike in Gretchen's mortgage payments, draining her savings, but not her spirit.
That much of a spike?
Jeez.
Well, yeah, what did she go from a good insurance provider to like Grifters Anonymous insurance or what?
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen?
I used to have State Farm. Now I insure it through Hank's bail bonds.
Yeah.
All love in the fight to still come.
My family got sick of coming home from, school and work and hearing me be on the phone, until midnight.
Gretchen Malaki says this fight is another full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
Wells Fargo paying her for double, even triple her initial mortgage payment month after month, even after proving and then reproving it's the servicer who made a clerical mistake.
They lost it, or they didn't record it, or it went into the wrong file.
Paul Ledford.
Well, that's hard to believe. I mean, Wells Fargo has been so reliable with their massive fraud and the biggest fine ever. I mean, surely they would not make a mistake and then hide it.
Maybe they're just looking at the wrong account that they opened for her.
Right.
Gretchen's case well.
But they came back to her, continuing to charge her the premiums for the extra insurance, saying, no, you haven't provided us with the information. She provides it again. She provides it yet again.
Representing her in just one of
this
the
poor woman, this poor family.
No kidding.
Many rounds this fight has led to.
Ultimately, she's not able to make the payments on her house because not only is she trying to pay her mortgage, but now she's also trying to pay the additional costs of the forced place insurance that Wells Fargo has put on it.
4 years in,
which she's proven she didn't need on numerous occasions.
They need to give this all back to her.
And she should be able to sue them for, that's pain and suffering.
It really is.
Sitting on those phone calls?
Yeah, don't worry.
God.
That guy's got his eye on it.
Slot begins.
In 2010, Wells Fargo threatens that they're going to foreclose on me.
The foreclosure process starts. She's in contact with people within Wells Fargo.
And he said he would, do what he could, check into things.
And we have logs of some of those contacts, those people inside Wells Fargo, who do eventually track down, yes, Wells Fargo made a mistake. Let's try and stop the foreclosure process.
They tell you, oh, don't worry about it.
Are they going back in? Is that her lawyer?
Yeah. I thought so, but the way they're going back and forth, I keep waiting for them to contradict each other.
Yeah, why?
Because they're making one side, like when they're talking, it's in color, and then when they're not talking, it's in black and white.
Fox, don't do that. It's split screen anymore.
Just because you got a new computer, don't need to show off.
Don't ever do that. I mean, your Amiga is great and everything, but the story was good before this happened.
Documents, and we'll see what we can do for you.
She receives a letter saying, we're going to not foreclose on you.
So we had dialogue back and forth, and they couldn't figure out how much I owed. And then all of a sudden my redemption period is up, so I'm told.
5 days later, the sheriff's sale takes place anyway. 6 months
Oh my
after the
gosh.
sheriff's sale, she's cut off.
From clerical error to my home is gone terror.
Yep.
most people don't understand.
The nice rhyme. This is definitely a lawsuit.
Yeah, it should be.
100%.
It should be if she has all this documented, but you're still out here. I mean, that is. The time is gone.
Now she'll buy a better house when she's got millions.
I hope so. I hope she gets it.
Yeah.
Understand is that's a non-judicial action. It doesn't happen in court. It happens in a public venue. So if the bank doesn't show up there and somebody else shows up and is the highest bidder, they get the house. Doesn't matter.
Not long after, the highest bidder at this secret sale is revealed.
In August of 2011, U.S. Bank brings an eviction hearing against her to evict her from the house.
U.S. Bank, the new owner, or is it?
We learned that U.S. Bank didn't own the house after the sheriff's sale, but it was transferred to Fannie Mae, and Fannie Mae is the real party in interest, not U.S. Bank.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh my God.
Now, Fannie Mae being the government-owned lender,
Right.
now?
Government-backed, yeah.
The government-backed lender.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So, great.
Wells Fargo's own records and records that Wells Fargo created and sent to the IRS to identify who the owner of the property was.
They're selling stuff back and forth between each other, and it is the Wild West.
And it's about to get...
in all cases, she's been doing... Wow.
Yep. And this is why people have turned to an insane person like Trump. Because this is all government fostered.
Yeah.
This is all these big banks, big business, and these little people like her are getting completely screwed. And there's no one to turn to. There's literally nothing you can do. She's doing her best. She's trying to contact all these different people. And because of the bureaucratic red tape that exists between the government and these giant entities that employ tens of thousands of people, she's a missing cog there. And so they just go, well, your home is on the auction block. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Meanwhile,
it's clerical.
Somebody in another department is saying, don't worry about it. You're fine.
Right.
Yeah. I just put it into the system. It's good to go.
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
Here's
Poor lady.
Here's how she can be redeemed, or here's redemption: is she gets a lot of money out of this, or her house back. She gets a lot out of this because she's gone through all of this.
Yeah,
and
just getting back to zero where you should have been if none of this ever happened is not enough.
No, it's not.
And by the way, what is our government doing? Buying foreclosures.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They shouldn't be in that business. They shouldn't be in the lending business.
Shouldn't be in the
at
lending
all.
business. Now, this story online, and they may be about to say it, it says her fight is about to get wilder. In part 3, which they show tonight, free plug for Fox 17. This is good reporting.
This is a great
No more split screens, though, I hope.
Yeah. If you've already recorded it and you've already done that, back to work.
I give him a break. This is a guy who went to film school, probably.
Yep.
And he just wants to do something different.
16 years at NYU, and I was going to direct, but now I'm doing this.
I had dreams of being an auteur.
I might not be able to direct a Hollywood picture, but I'll be the Zack Schneider of news reports.
No, this is listen to this
Stop
tease.
action.
This is a great tease by Fox 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only is the fight about to get wilder, in part 3, which airs tonight on Fox 17, her fight moves to the federal level. And hear what Wells Fargo told Fox 17 when we brought the case to them.
I can't wait.
I do need to hear it.
I do want to hear this.
This is awesome because normally we, at the end of the show, go, hey, let's do a local story. Let's find out what's going on. And then sometimes we find nothing.
Well, tomorrow we're playing this.
Yes, it's already written. This is great.
Thank you for doing our work for us.
I
But
mean,
make sure
very
to do
sad
it the
for
way
her,
we
but
want you to.
Great
Right.
for us.
Oh, man. If you know that lady or if she happens to be listening, anyone in her family, I
My
feel
goodness,
terrible
man.
for you.
I do too.
This is really going to be embarrassing, though, if part 3 is showing clearly like an actually extra bold print where it says, I'm only leasing this house for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's.
That's pretty cut and dry.
They cannot do that to
What
us.
if it said, now, the home has been in foreclosure and a new owner has moved in, and then the cameraman stuck a camera in the window and there's Justin, his wife, sitting in there around a hot plate?
I don't know what to do.
Clinking wine glasses.
Probably
like,
high-five
all
you.
right.
It's a nice, very nice house.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to the victor goes the spoils.
It'd be even better, though, if it was somebody great like Suzanne Jiha.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just in my kitchen.
I'm in the house. This is a dresser. It's where I keep my panties. No one wants to see those, so let's get out of here.
This reminds me of
door. How's front doors work?
Remember the woman who was getting her house ripped off from Kalamazoo or near Kalamazoo?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pointless. Even though she had a free lawyer, there was no stopping it.
Yeah. They said, "Well, sorry, we already did it." Oh, okay, yeah, you couldn't stop.
Yeah,
that's why I
still can't believe that lady for the city came on with us.
Yeah,
that was remarkable.
I give her credit for that. She didn't clear anything up or do anything that helped, but
man, you know, it's always these stories that it just freaks me out because you realize how helpless you are in the grand scheme of being in our own country, you know, where it's all, you know, supposedly all this freedom and everything, and you do all the right things. Like if there's a clerical error, like I've never missed a mortgage payment. I've been paying my mortgage for 9 years now on my current house.
Yeah,
you know, doing all the right things. And because there could be a clerical error, like tomorrow, I could be this woman.
Yeah, totally.
Where all of a sudden, you know, or the township says, well, you haven't paid your property taxes in 3 years or whatever. And you go, well, it's supposed to come out of escrow. Oh, okay, well, let me contact them. And if they say, no, we paid them, all of a sudden you go, oh, okay, great.
All of a sudden you're dealing with something.
Yeah, now my house is in auction.
Yeah.
You know, like those things, it's those little things that worry me. Like, I don't, you know, I mean, there's plenty of other things to worry about in the world, but I can't sit there and go, oh, boy, well, is today the day I go to the mall and ISIS is there? That would drive me bananas. It's these stories that freak
really
me out.
Does.
You know?
Well, yeah, this is probably more likely to happen.
It seems
to
like
one of us. Yeah, and that's the thing, and I don't think it has to be this way. I think somebody really could have taken this and helped her out instead of passing the buck. I don't believe that it has to be this way.
I don't think it does have to be this way. It's just, you know, you get these big conglomerates and you're just, you know, you're a nameless, faceless number. And you might even get somebody on the line that thinks they're doing, that is actually thinking they're helping and does enter the information the right way or whatever. But because there's a glitch in their system or who knows. Hell, I mean, because all of us have dealt with this very thing on smaller scales, whether you're dealing with a utility company or whomever else. Hell, I got my utility bill the other day, and it was like through the roof. And you go, well, there is no way. Like last August was hotter than this. Look at this bill. There's a $200 difference. There is no way.
Yeah.
Well, who am I going to call? Who am I going to bitch to? Consumers? Yeah, well, all right. I mean... Then they're going to go, well, and you're going to go, well, we got it. We took an actual reading. Oh, okay. Well, I don't believe that you were at my house. Well, we were.
Yeah. Well, now you probably have the digital box, so they don't even have to come by anymore, right?
And even those, you go, well, we took an actual reading. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You know, so unless
I will fight.
So unless it's to the point where, you know, you get a bill where it's one of those ridiculous things where you go, I got a bill for $100,000.
Right. I just read an article yesterday morning.
If it's $100 more than you think it's supposed to be, all right, well, good luck with that.
Yeah. I just read an article yesterday that we're more at the whim of monopolies now than any time since America freaked out about it in the late 1800s and early 1900s about the monopolies that existed by various organizations when they fought to break up and add regulation to, like, when Standard Oil controlled 95% of the oil in the United States.
Right.
And it went through and it laid out by the various things that all humans buy, food, stuff like that, that there is really a massive monopoly in every situation. And it's been trending that way since they pointed out for the last 30, 35 years. And it was a very heady article, more than I can summarize right now. And I'm not smart enough
Congress
to do it.
and senators and everybody, government working together, working for the companies.
And they made the point now that those same companies where they have amassed all this wealth, like it's 4 or 5 companies that control virtually all the wealth in the United States. Well, these banks amongst them.
Sure.
Yeah,
because they have so much money, it forces our government to be in their bag, not just, and I'm not just saying banks, but they pointed out other massive retail, like there's one company that controls, I think they said 86% of all the food purchases in the United States by volume. And then there's another one that's, this, that, and the other, oil and gas and electricity and electronics. And I said, so you're completely in the bag for them and kind of making the same argument we are, that nothing you can do until there's some sort of crackback against it. But how does that happen?
No, well, technically, I think, what they're doing is They're doing everything right by allowing take consumers, for example, or DTE or whoever. You know those people that come to your house with the clipboard and they go, "Hey, we're with the energy company. We're with your energy company."
Right, yeah.
The reason they're allowed to, or the reason they're selling energy is because consumers or public works like that have to allow other people to use, their equipment or their cables or pipelines to transfer energy so that it's not a monopoly.
Right.
But come on, man. It really is.
Right.
Because I'm not going with the guy with the clipboard.
Yeah. The guy who showed up in a dented Ford Escort from 1989 who's got a clipboard and a brown shirt.
Yeah, that's the one Daryl hauled for me.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's
right. I'm with you. I mean, there are times where you go, I can see why people want to get off the grid sometimes.
Yeah.
Where you go, you know what? I'm going to get a rain barrel, and I'm going to get a solar panel, and I'm going to get a propane tank, and I'm going to burn wood.
Yeah. Virtually the only thing you can do is, vote against every incumbent.
Which is what we've always said, and
no one will do that.
And people and people always say, "Yeah, that is exactly what needs to happen," except that they never believe it for their own person.
They never do. And sometimes I think even if we got that person, even if there was someone with ideals and they got into a role where you would think, okay, he can really change something. The system is set up to,
it would need to
be the way it is.
It would need to be sort of a mass, I don't mean this in a real way, but a mass slaughter of incumbents.
An
where
overhaul,
they would, not actual injury, of course, but referring to, it couldn't just be a surprise presidential candidate or a surprise governor. It needs to be okay, there were 114 open seats in the House and in the Senate.
Yeah.
And of those, 108 incumbents lost.
Right.
Right. That's exactly what it needs to be. And then we need a Teddy Roosevelt type in the White House who's just going to come in and slash and burn and do it in the right ways. And,
And when's that going to happen?
Never.
It's not.
It's way too entrenched at this point.
Yeah. On the bright side,
I think it would take, unfortunately, some sort of a coup.
I think maybe we'll have little.
Not really for that either.
Which I would prefer that didn't happen.
We'll get little gifts here and there where something seems like it's fair, and that's about all we can hope for.
Keep us quiet.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. Oh, well. I should be very happy that my people just gave me a tax cut.
Yep.
I'm going to get an extra $200 this year.
Oh, the economy's bad. I just got a check for $100.
I'm going to go buy a boat.
Yes.
Thanks, Congress.
It's STP Plush. 97.9 GRD Rocks.